Title tag: Relationship Counseling for Couples Problems. Meta description: if you and your partner are undergoing relationship troubles, read this article to find out how relationship counseling can help you through. How relationship counseling can resolve 5 common problems between partners. Conflicts between couples are commonplace in every relationship. In fact, experts detail them to be a sign of a thriving relationship, provided they are infrequent and appropriately managed. Despite this, however, you have to regulate the conflicts to ensure that they are healthy and won't reach certain limits. When exceeded, these limits may make it difficult for your relationship to go back to normalcy. On this account, if you and your partner are undergoing some hurdles which you intend to fix, you should try counseling. This article highlights how relationship therapy sessions can help you overcome some prevalent relationship difficulties. Read on to learn more. 1. Irritating personality traits. As two different people, you can't always agree on everything. For instance, pet peeves may seem trivial, but in reality, they play a huge role in a detachment between couples. If left unchecked, they will build up over time and become toxic to your relationship. As much as you try working your way through them, you would often end up with little success, thus increasing frustrations with your partner. A recent poll conducted in a sample of 1,000 British Columbian couples revealed that 55% of them had to spend more time with each other during the lockdown period. Out of these, a quarter admitted to feeling irritable towards their partners over that cause. The constant closeness to your partner may overwhelm you, and the annoying habits might find their way to your nerves. Thus, if you and your partner are residents of a British Columbia city, live Vancouver, for example, and you are constantly arguing because of matters you see as petty, you should decidedly consider therapy sessions to curb these materials before they get out of hand. Visit a therapist for relationship counseling in Vancouver, and they'll help you clearly express the exasperation you feel towards each other. They'll, they'll suggest ways to solve or minimize them, and if they prove to be unsolvable, then they may suggest ways how you can live through them to sustain a healthy relationship. Infidelity. Extramarital affairs among spouses have become an ordinary thing in the present world. Research conducted in 2017 reported an average of 31% of husbands and 21% of wives being involved in adultery. Accordingly, if you are in a relationship with a cheating partner, the betrayal will most likely have an emotional toll on you. Your relationship will go through stormy times as the mistrust levels between you two will significantly increase. For this reason, if you or your partner have infidelity problems, you should consider attending couples therapy sessions. Throughout this Throughout the sessions, the relationship therapist will listen to you expressing how you feel about infidelity. They'll also make you revisit your relationship goals and how dishonesty affects them. The therapist will also explore with you the two options of ending the relationship or staying in it and undergoing a recommended healing process. Money. Discussing money between you and your spouse can be a difficult task, especially if your financial management tactics don't always see eye to eye. Tension is bound to arise every time money issues are raised. If left unchecked for a long time, it may cause a strain between you and your spouse. For this reason, you should visit a relationship counselor for advice on how to handle the issue. The therapist may equip you with methods to effectively communicate about money matters. For instance, they may suggest openness and honesty, especially for finances influencing you both, such as the mortgage. They may also recommend that you get expert monetary advice from financial professionals. Fourth, intimacy issues. Perhaps at the beginning of your relationship, you two had plenty of cozy moments together. You couldn't step out of the house without giving each other a warm embrace. You made all those little gestures that you knew would sweep your partner off their feet, and your nights were nothing short of beautiful. Now you can't pinpoint the exact reason, but the connection somehow ceased, and you no longer relive those moments. At this point, it will be wise for you to schedule an appointment with a relationship therapist. They'll analyze your situation and may spot the exact cause of the change. They'll also be responsible for giving you tips on how to revive that spark that graced your honeymoon. Fifth, substance abuse. In most scenarios, drug and substance abuse create a vast drift in relationships. If one of you is facing a drug addiction problem, issues like mistrust, anxiety, health problems, or even domestic violence may prevail. Over time, you might lose all the affection towards your partner. Therefore, to prevent your relationship from spiraling to such an extent, make a point of attending couples therapy sessions where you will get advice on how to handle your situation. The counselors may recommend rehab for the addiction and generally give you tips on how to sustain your relationship. They'll also analyze it and advise you accordingly on whether to stay in it or separate for the good of you both. Conclusion: if you are in a romantic relationship, you and your partner will face conflicts from time to time. However, you should seek help early enough if you see that the problem is spiraling out of control. This way, you'll save the relationship since while you still can. Some common problems include infidelity, irritating character traits, money and intimacy issues, and drug abuse. Relationship counseling can prove to be helpful if you consider it early enough. So consider getting professional advice from a certified therapist so as to ultimately resolve your relationship issues.